it can't be any more on the nose than this. We'll say this. When Sam Wilson got demoted and he became Captain America because current era writers only see legitimacy in classically white characters. So to them, Sam Wilson being Falcon, an original one-of-a-kind black character, was not good enough. Instead, he needed the sloppy seconds of Steve in being Captain America. That was only done with the cause of social justice in mind. Then he became Falcon again, and then he went back to becoming Captain America, speaking back into the comics. And I think a lot of that is stemming from what they're doing within the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and him getting the sloppy seconds of Steve. But again, it's all about social justice, and you can't be any more on the nose. The guys that get the access are confirming that, like CBR. Captain America is an avenger for social justice. Boring, boring, boring. We've covered and we kept up with this new book that they're coming out. Now there's 2 Captain America, so they're going to hold the mantle. They're going to have 2 Captain Americas, ones with wings. It says, as a character, Captain America, whether Sam Wilson or Steve Rogers, has dealt with the host of social issues in the decades since he first appeared. While most common issue of heroes have faced was the overt genocide and hate surrounding Nazis in World War II, other issues have been born that have equally important impact on the country. I will never allow advocates of social justice, who themselves brand themselves as advocates of social justice, to try to hijack everything that they deem as good. They do that all the time, and they're very good at that, where they say, well, if you are against racism or something, or you are against Nazism, you therefore are an advocate of social justice. That's not what the fuck term social justice means, by the way. And you don't get to just say I inherit everything good. Everything good is a person that advocates what I advocate. That's not how this shit works, and we're not going to allow you to do that. It says, for example, later years, Steve dealt with disillusionment with his government. Again, that has nothing to do with social justice. By that logic, Steve is just a libertarian, which many Americans dealt with at the time. But when Sam Wilson took the wings, social issues became even more domestic and hit closer to home. That's because this tokenized character was specifically used to do that shit. Captain America, symbol of truth, #1, wrote by a hack writer, showed Sam, now Captain America again, alongside Steve Rogers, checking up on a lead given to him by Misty Knight, along with his ally, Joaquin Torres, who is Falcon now. Yeah, makes sense. The two fend off an ambush of mercenaries sent to attack a train supposedly carrying a version of the super soldier serum. However, Torres quickly discovered that rather than a serum, the train held a group of immigrants from Mexico. Oh, sorry about that. Some shit. Sometimes it's just narcolepsy or something. Just fucking boring ass shit. There's enough action and setup throughout the issue to show the type of threats that Sam would face. I think they mean Sam would face. While Steve's upcoming series would focus more on political espionage, Sam was always meant to handle domestic social issues. It's a black character, so that's exactly what has to happen, right? You have to. It has to be about social justice. He can't just be a hero that does cool shit. After Sam and Torres secured the train's passengers, the immigrants were taken to an off-the-books facility where they were meant to be kept safe as promised by Sam. However, Joaquin was still pensive about the situation. He knew that the senator that took his cousin was staunchly anti-immigration. These guys are fucking serious. Oh my God, these guys are serious here. They can't get any more on the nose than that. They're gonna take this racial, social aspect of immigration in Mexico and shit, and they're gonna just put it in the fucking book. In recent years, immigration has been a huge topic of the U.S. government has taken a stand to bottleneck what has been an influx of illegal immigrants coming into the country. However, their treatment in holding facilities, for example, has not set well with many. Part of the reason that the country was built on immigrants, that's what they're going with that one. Like those today came to America for opportunity and to escape dangers of their home country. Therefore, even after the first issue, it was clear that this series would tackle the topics full force. Yep, taking the current. This is what's wrong with the current era of comics and why people are so bored of this shit. It's like you're taking what we. If I wanted this narrative, and I'm about to stop reading this dog shit here in a little bit because it sucks that they're having to use Sam and his character in his book to utilize this advocacy for social justice. Like you got to get a black Captain America, and then this black Captain America has to deal with social issues and all this bullshit. Like it's boring to death, but. This is the problem with the current era of comics and just entertainment in general, that they don't seem to understand. It's not just that it's about social issues. It's not just about that. It's about that all you do is copy what's going on in the real world and you paste it. That's not to say that Marvel hasn't done that in the past. They have. But what's so boring is that you do that and then you only present one side of the position of the argument as if it's the good side, of course, and the righteous one. And that's the side of social justice, advocacy, and leftism. That's it. That's it. You don't, there's no balance. That's the problem. So if I wanted to watch this, which is basically MSNBC the comic, I would do that. If I wanted that, I would just turn on fucking Rachel Madcow and I would just watch her rant and rave about whatever's fucking going on in the world from her perspective. I don't want to read a fucking comic book, and that's what it is. It's not even like an analogy. It's just you literally said, here are Mexican immigrants, right? Here are Mexican immigrants, and we're just going to copy and paste that issue of immigration that we're dealing with in America, that people find a kind of hot button topic, and we're going to fucking put it in the book. It's boring. And that's why you suck. But you have no self-awareness. So you keep doing this shit. And I used to be like, man, this sucks, please stop. And now I'm more like, I guess you can keep going because I'm just going to take your customers. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.